Welcome to the Witching Hours, episode 7. Can you believe it? We've done 7 of these already. So this episode is going to be just me and Frost Giant here this evening. Our guest that we had scheduled for April cannot do April, and we're hoping that we can have her on for May. So tonight we're going to be doing remote viewing exercises where you guys can participate in them. Going to be interactive, so you'll be able to practice some remote viewing yourselves. We're going to do
we'll do a little
exercises,
little experimentation with remote viewing,
and then we're going to break up the exercises in the middle with a little trance medium demonstration, which could be super cool, or you might get really bored. We'll find out. So let's see who's here.
Whatever it is, it's live, right?
It is. And you guys might see something weird, and I might start talking differently, or I might fall asleep because I'm real tired. Who knows? All right, so we got Salty Frog contributed to the 30-minute tarot video giveaway. Hey, Salty. And Little Wings here, and Foombi's here, and Sylvie's here. Hello, everybody. And Bree. Hi. Welcome. All right, so as usual, to get things kicked off for the evening, Frost Giant is going to share some weird paranormal news.
Yeah, some weird news tonight. 2 stories I think I have. The first one is, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. Me and Medium Jenny have talked about this before. There was another race of Homo sapien at one point that is referred to as the hobbits, that were from Indonesia.
Correct.
They found the bones out from Indonesia.
Hey, Purple Moon.
There's a new book out from an anthropologist. An anthropologist has just released a book that is discussing the fact that there may be some of these hobbits still alive. So a controversial new book called Between Ape and Human, an anthropologist on the trail of a hidden hominoid by Gregory Forth is going to release on May 3rd. And he says in the work that he simply doesn't know when the species went extinct, or indeed if they went extinct at all.
What?
In an interview with Live Science. There are legends and over 30 eyewitness accounts from a specific island in Indonesia of stories of little hairy men that have been videotaped or seen. And so he's hypothesizing that these hobbit,
they never went extinct.
Homo sapiens never went extinct and still live on this island in Indonesia.
Wow.
So that might be an interesting read when the book comes out on May 3rd.
So instead of having a big foot, could we call them Littlefoot?
H. Florenzius.
Yes, Florenzius, yep.
Yeah, had the cognitive ability to make tools, which would be a crucial evolutionary step towards survival. Half primate, half man, short and hairy. Short and hairy. I know some of those.
Yeah, I do know. I know some tall and hairy ones too. Might fit into the Bigfoots. Hey, Lucky. We're not doing readings tonight, my dear, but I'll be on tomorrow night to do readings. Tonight we're doing like a podcast kind of show where we're discussing things, but we're going to be doing some interactive remote viewing exercises.
I like some readings. You can participate and see if you can remote view.
Yes.
2 targets that we have tonight. And Medium Jenny is also going to be doing a trance session. So
yeah,
that could possibly turn out to be something for somebody. Maybe we'll see.
Could be, yeah. I don't know who's going to come through. I said somebody that wanted to speak with us this evening is my intention, so we'll see. Little Wayne, thanks for contributing to the 30-minute tarot video giveaway. I think we're at like maybe about 70% there to getting the next. You resemble that remark. The tall, hairy man. Yeah. Yes,
I don't know any of those.
Yeah, I know a couple of those.
The second story tonight is 3,000-year-old city found buried under sand in Egypt. So, archaeological team led by Zahi Hawass, Dr. Hawass from the
Oh yeah.
Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're familiar with anything that goes on with archaeology in Egypt, then you know who Dr. Hawass is.
He's the main guy.
They have discovered what they call the Lost Golden City. For reading from the story here, for many years, archaeologists have been looking for this city. Old writings had mentioned a city that became an important location during the reign of Amenhotep III and continued to develop through the times of Tutankhamun. This data is matched by 22 bodies that have been discovered thus far, including the remains of Amenhotep III and his queen.
Wow.
Hawass said the city was uncovered near Luxor, near the which is the home of the Valley of the Kings.
We stayed there. Oh, that was in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah. This is a city that they've been looking for over 100 years.
Wow.
The excavation started in September of 2020. They started digging around the Temple of Ramses III. And it's about 300 miles south of Cairo, Egypt.
Can you imagine having to dig just through some sand?
Yeah.
Like, you know, how probably, I don't know, how many dozens of feet or hundreds of feet of sand would you have to dig through to get down there? That sounds awful. And it also makes me think of the Moon Knight, it's new Marvel series. Yeah. We just got caught up on yesterday with a new episode, and there's a lot of sand in that episode, so it's just making me think of that. Yeah, the
largest ancient city ever uncovered in Egypt, and it is a quote from let's see, the second most important archaeological discovery since the tomb of Tutankhamun, said Betsy Bryan, a professor of Egyptian art and archaeology at Johns Hopkins University.
Nice. We'll have to look into that some more and see what comes out of it. I'm sure they'll probably make a documentary or something. It'll be on Netflix in the next couple of years. They're probably documenting it as they're digging, right? And we'll get to see it.
I mean, yeah.
We'll get to see it.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hawass, Dr. Hawass, I think a lot of things can be said about him, but shying away from attention isn't one of them. So.
No. Yeah. All right, cool. Is that all of our news for today?
That's the weird news for today.
Okay.
There were some interesting stories, but all of them seem kind of, I don't know. They weren't very newsworthy, so I left them out.
Okay. Well, those are two good ones. I like hobbits, and I definitely am interested in Egyptian stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, do you want to do a little bit of the history here of remote
Yes. Viewing? Frosty has looked up some of the history and definitions of remote viewing and what that entails. He would like to share that information with us.
So, for the idea of this show, you know, if you've seen this show before, you probably heard me mention Coast to Coast AM or Art Bell or something like that in the past. And remote viewing was one of the shows that would kind of come on over and over again, remote viewers who had allegedly worked for the U.S. government. And so this has been a topic that's been talked about on Paranormal and Weirdo Radio for quite a long time. So if you don't know what remote viewing is, I'm going to give you a little bit of a history that I looked up. I was kind of doing my own research, and then I found a really sufficient article on it, and so we're just using that. But so during the Cold War, the U.S. government sought to deploy a potent new weapon against the Soviet Union, which they thought that, you know, we wondered if they were already using on us, which was mind reading. So there was a highly classified project that was done at the California Research Lab in the 70s, and later an Army base in Maryland. The CIA, Army of Defense Intelligence Agency, recruited men and women claiming to have powers of extrasensory perception, or ESP, to help uncover military and domestic intelligence targets. In 2017, the CIA declassified 12 million pages of records revealing previously unknown details about the program, which would eventually become known as Project Stargate.
Interesting.
By the time,
speaking of Egyptians,
yeah, there we go. Yeah, it all comes back around
it's
again.
like a circle,
right?
like a circle.
By the time the program was shut down in 1995, psychics known as remote viewers had taken part in a wide array of operations, from locating hostages kidnapped by Islamic terrorist groups to tracing the path of fugitive criminals inside of the United States. So the Project Stargate goes all the way back to 1972, when a classified report was circled through U.S. military agency communities, claiming that the Soviet Union was putting a ton of money into ESP and psychokinesis. One of a pretty famous remote viewer from that time is a guy, an Army veteran named Joseph McGonigal. And he stood out around a lot of remote viewers who work with the government's top secret program and Project Stargate. He's done interviews with the Washington Post. He was on Coast to Coast AM, and he's been one of the preeminent known remote viewers. McGonigal himself was involved in 450 missions between 1978 and 1984, including helping the Army locate hostages in Iran, pointing CIA agents to the shortwave radio concealed in the pocket calculator of a suspected KGB agent captured in South Africa. So there were declassified documents that prove that Joseph McGonigal was able to identify targets through Project Stargate in the 1970s and 1980s in the Cold War. There were other, remote viewers, or lots of remote viewers. Angela Ford was asked in 1989 to help track down former customs agents who had gone on the run. She was on CBS News program 48 Hours, where they interviewed her about remote viewing and her success with government programs.
So what was the, you were looking earlier, what was like the kind of the technical definition of remote viewing?
Oh, let me see if I can find that one again. Exactly what remote viewing is, I guess, the practice of seeking impressions about a distant or unseen subject, purportedly sensing with the mind. Typically, a remote viewer is expected to give information about an object, event, person, or location that is hidden from physical view and separated at some distance. Some examples of this, that I've seen before go anywhere from, obviously trying to identify Soviet targets during the Cold War, as what I just read about, even trying to find people who are wanted by the U.S. government. But even, as we've heard before from Major Ed Dames, even remote viewing distant planets and alien civilizations. So, the boundaries from what I've seen or, read about or listened to of remote viewing seem to be kind of endless.
Yeah.
But just to finish this part off, Stargate was closed in 1995. The CIA released a report acknowledging that the U.S. government had worked with remote viewers and that the military intelligence was using psychics. But in their report, they called Stargate a failure and said that it remains unclear whether the existence of a paranormal phenomenon, remote viewing, has been demonstrated. And that was like their last statement. Yeah, they're going to use it for 30 years and then decide that it wasn't working.
Oh, all of a sudden. Oh, we're getting a raid. The Nowhere Prophecy. Hey, raiders. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, Purple Violet 19. And your name is the purple color. How appropriate. Oh, lesbian hugs. Those are good. Those are good hugs. We're doing good. We're talking about remote viewing. We're just learning that the government, even though they did it for 30 years, decided that it was a failure. I think that that's just some BS.
Well, if you look at the timing, it just happens to happen at the end of the Cold War when they don't. I
know for sure, personally, that the FBI still uses remote viewers because I know one personally. So
there we go.
Wrong.
Yeah, we know that nationally, psychics and remote viewers are used for government, police work, all kinds of FBI, CIA.
Finding missing people. Yeah. So, Thanks, Noah Prophecy. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you for the raid.
Hope your stream was good and that we'll see you again.
Well, welcome, raiders. Just to kind of tell you a little about who we are. Normally on our streams, Medium Jenny Lea does personal tarot and medium readings for people.
Friday nights, 8 o'clock.
Friday nights at 8 o'clock. Tonight is a monthly show that we do called The Witching Hours, which is kind of dedicated to any kind of weirdo talk or paranormal talk. Most often we have guests that we interview, from mediums to I call it tarot readers, all kinds of animal communicators.
We had Reiki.
We've had lots of different people on here. And tonight we are going to do an experiment. We are going to allow through
you guys are going to remote
you guys try to identify two targets.
Yes.
A target that
I'm picking and one that Frost Giant's picking. Yeah. So,
and then also a live trance
demonstration, which may or may not be exciting. I cannot guarantee anything. So Frost Giant, before we move on to my experiences of remote viewing, will you kind of explain a little bit about how they did it through the government with like the coordinates and stuff? What you know of it? I know it kind of gets complicated.
That's something I've been trying to find out about.
Yeah.
I've been on a maddening chase for the last month. There was an episode of one of Art Bell's last shows where he had a remote viewer on, where they did an experiment. Well, what we're doing tonight with the radio listeners. And so, of course, this was even more interesting because, he had a couple more viewers than we did. And so, thousands of people.
Just a few thousand.
Trying to identify a target. And I want to say that it was Joseph McGonigal on the show, but I'm not 100% sure.
Hey, according to the chat, we have 16 viewers right now. That's pretty good.
That is very good. That is very good. But you can imagine with this thousands of viewers, there was a very, it was like if it was real, if there was remote viewing, they could almost prove it through trying to find people to be able to identify this target because it was very obscure. And people did locate the target. Listeners wrote in what they thought the target was, and a lot of them got it right. And it was just something that people wouldn't be able to pick. And I don't want to give away what it was because if I ever find the stream, I'll probably post it. You can watch it because it'd be very interesting.
The underscore said it would be more believable with the smaller pool. I agree.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. You're right. Yeah. So what is interesting or what is uninteresting about this, and I read a good comment about remote viewing earlier, is that the military can take anything and make it dreadfully boring. That was true with my experience in the military. And I think it's true with this because through their remote viewing, they use systems of numbers and coordinates. And so the remote viewers wouldn't even get any kind of written explanation of what they were looking for. They would just get a series of numbers. And somehow by focusing on those numbers and those coordinates, they would be able to remote view. They would remote view, and then whatever they saw, they would tell their higher ups. And then at the end, they would be told if they were successful or not. And so they kept like percentage rates of how accurate each person was. And there were some people who were, 75, 80% accurate on all of the remote viewing. And there were some people who were less accurate. So yeah, that was the system they used. I'm sure I can find a more detailed account, but that's the basic idea.
I don't think I could do the coordinates because looking at a big list of numbers would just look like I was trying to read Japanese or something.
There was lots and lots of, years of training that went on. So
yeah. Underscore says a lot of times there has to be emotion involved. And without that, it makes it more difficult, especially when in the military, they beat the emotion out of their recruits. Correct. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. When I, talking about making things boring, it was just like, very like, here's the thing, like there's not going to be a big celebration, And I can only imagine being in this really dry environment where you're remote viewing an alien race and then you're like having to give like a debrief on that and like a after action assessment or whatever. Like, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. Boring.
So tell us about your experience.
Okay, so and through my medium classes with Cindy Keza, we did, I would say, a fair bit of remote viewing exercises. And from the medium side of things, not the military side of things, you're really just energetically sensing a place. And you're using all of the clairs, the mediumistic clairs, which would be like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, all the normal psychic mediumistic things, to view the location. We were trying locations, to just get a sense of the place, anything that's at that location. And we did a couple of exercises where we were working one-on-one, and I was working with a lady. We were both supposed to have a photograph of the place we wanted the other person to remote view, and we didn't show them the photograph. So when it was my turn, I remote viewed for the lady. I did not get the photograph. The lady remote viewed for me. She did not get my photograph. However, we both went through each other's houses. I went through her house and saw her whole first floor and the lake out in the backyard and everything. And she went through my house and she went through my whole first floor and saw all the doors in the right places and the colors of things. And it was kind of crazy. So I feel like you can remote view using any of your natural abilities. Like if you know things, if you see it in your mind, if you can sense things emotionally, whatever. It's
so the question there is, did she see unvacuumed carpets and dishes stacked on the counter, or
there was something? Yeah. She did see something. I can't remember what it was. That was very specific. I'm trying to remember what it was now. It was something that we had been doing recently. I think it was around Christmas time. And she was like, I keep hearing Christmas carols or something. And, but it was like too early for Christmas. And we had already been listening to Christmas music because, that's what we do around here.
In like November.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she sensed something that was specific to our house that wasn't a physical thing too.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. And then we also did some remote viewing with a lady who does work with the FBI as a remote viewer for drug busts, specifically fentanyl. So I know for sure that the FBI, probably the CIA, I would imagine, they still use remote viewers. They don't pay them anything. The mediums and psychics are just giving up their free time to help them out because for the good of the group, right? But we did a big, huge remote viewing exercise with her where it was a bunch of us picking up on things. And actually, some of the people in the group were able to come up with information that led to an arrest in the case that she was letting us look into. So that was really exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone in your class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
multiple people in my class, multiple people were able to pick up information that led to a much bigger deal for that specific case.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just saw Frost Giant has been subbing for a whole year. That's crazy. Awesome. Then underscore said you have to start smaller to establish the connection. Yes. So what we're going to be doing is having you all try to connect in with a location that I have chosen. I'm not going to give you any hints at said location other than the fact I am going to tell you that I do have images up of it on my other screen. So get yourselves ready if you would like to participate. We're going to go into a little meditation. I'm going to guide you through a little bit of meditating to get you in a headspace where you're able to hopefully pick up on some information about said location. Are you guys ready? So before we go into it, I want to let you know that you should stay in the connection to the location the whole time. Don't stop what you're doing and come type and tell me what's happening. So
1 second.
Yes.
So Mr. Doesn't have, that I know of, any really ability here.
Yes.
If I'm watching the stream and I have no clue how to attempt to do this, what steps should I?
Well, I'm going to guide you into a meditative state where you're going to be calm. Hopefully your mind will be clear. And then you're just going to sense, feel, hear, see, whatever kinds of things that come to you. You're going to try to kind of see them or hear them or feel them as they come. But don't come out of the meditation to tell me what you've experienced. Stay in the meditation. We'll do it for maybe, 5 minutes or something. And then when we come out of the meditation, then you guys can come into the chat and tell me what you saw. And it could be as simple as you saw one thing. In your mind's eye, you saw one thing. Or maybe you sensed something. Or you saw a memory of something. Or you thought you smelled something. Or you see what I'm saying? Just whatever comes to you. Just kind of keep track of it as you're going through the meditation. So Norsk said, so this is what kept you from running into the tree with your bike when you were little. I think so, yes. I think you were remote viewing in your sleep. That's my dad, by the way. And yeah, I come from a long line of weirdos. So, okay. So if you plan to participate with us, make sure you get yourself in a comfortable position. I would suggest sitting with your feet on the floor, as comfortable as you can get. All right. So let's go ahead. Get yourself ready, comfortable. Go ahead and make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Have your arms and your hands kind of loose wherever they're comfortable. And then I want you to close your eyes. And let's just start with some breathing. So I want you to try to breathe in deeply through your nose. Feel the air go down into your lungs, filling your lungs. Hold the breath for a second, and then exhale. So let's do some of those breaths together. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. Do another one. In through your nose. Exhale. We're going to do one more because 3 is a good number. In through your nose. Exhale. Now continue to breathe, but I want you to feel your body relaxing. And I want you to try to clear your mind. Clear your mind of anything from the day. Don't be nervous about what we're doing. This is just fun and practice. There should be no pressure here. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of chakra opening so that you can be a little more open to the energies, spirit, whatever might be coming through to help us with this exercise. So I want you to imagine at the bottom of your feet that there are roots going out deep, deep, deep into the earth. So you're grounding yourself to the earth through your root chakra, which is at the bottom of your feet. Now I want you to imagine that you're coming up your body through your sacral chakra, which is just below your belly button, up through your solar plexus, which is the middle of your torso, going through your heart chakra, through your throat chakra, up through your third eye. And then when you get to your crown chakra, which is the top of your head, I want you to imagine that there's a light coming out of the top of your head, going up into the sky. Then I want you to imagine that the light also flows down through all those chakras back down to the root. We're making a connection to spirit and also keeping ourselves grounded. When you feel connected, relaxed, and your mind is as clear as you can make it, I want you to imagine that you're traveling to a location. And then allow yourself to sense, see, feel, hear, smell, taste, whatever might come to you, the location. Try not to question what you're seeing or feeling or sensing. Don't wonder if your mind is just making something up. When you're ready, bring yourself back to your body. Focus on your physical self to bring yourself back. And then tell me what you got. Type in the chat. Even if you got nothing, even if you sensed nothing, it would be good to know who got something and who didn't. So the underscore said, a cliff near the sea, a stone structure. It's been broken, possibly very old. The water is crashing on the shore. The stone is sandy, reddish colored, and the grass is overgrown. Poor Sylvie got nothing. The more you practice, the better you'll get. There's nothing wrong with getting nothing. To be honest, when we did the exercise with the medium that was working with the FBI, I got nothing. I think I was so caught up in what everybody else was getting, I was like, I couldn't. All right, Norsk said apples, barn, and cows. Sue Willett, waterfall off rocks and trees at the side. Hello, Sue Willits. Thank you for letting us know what you got. First time chatter. I'm excited. So far, everybody's got something. Except for poor Sylvie. We won't talk about that. All right, folks, what else did you get? I don't want to start talking about it yet if you guys haven't put in what you experienced.
Get your stuff in the chat before.
Yes.
Because if you put it in there afterwards,
then you were cheating.
We still have one more to do though. So
yeah. Also, if you want to share how it made you feel, did you have any physical experiences? Were you able to get relaxed? Sometimes if you're not able to get relaxed or clear your mind, then you won't be able to do much of anything because your mind is, occupied. Little Wing said, I saw a Spanish-style house with terracotta roof, arched windows and doors, and a woman in traditional dress with low ponytail and a broom. Oh, very interesting, Little Wing. You got a lot of detailed information. Hello, charming panda.
A lot of water and overgrown grass.
Yes.
Overgrown grass, small yellow wooden house, pink kiddie pool in the back.
Is calming.
And more water.
Lots of water. Yeah, that's the second overgrown grass that we've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Waterfall. Oh, and then your kids interrupted. Daggone kids. I know exactly what you mean, Bree. Misty or cloudless, peaceful but flowing energy. I like that description. And underscore said calming also, so peaceful and calming. And when I give the location and we go over the things, if your stuff was incorrect, don't be upset. That does not mean that you didn't remote view. It just means you didn't see the thing that I was looking for. That doesn't mean that you didn't go somewhere and see something else. Because remember when we did our experiment in class, I went to the lady's house and she came to my house, but that wasn't what we were trying to do. I was trying to get her to see something different and she was trying to get me to see something different. So just because you might not have seen what I had in mind does not mean that you didn't see something real. Oh, Sue Willits. Definitely movement at that place. Yes. Excellent description.
Yeah, that's something that people from Project Stargate would talk about also, is that, they would remote view and hit the wrong target, but they were still remote viewing.
They're still seeing a place,
yeah.
even if it's not the place that was intended.
They could get confirmation that they actually, because they would see stuff there that no one knew about except for like military intelligence.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what they were looking for. Yeah.
All right. Is there anybody else that would like to chime in on what they experienced before I give you the location? Trying to see what pictures I had open here. Yeah. Some of you are going to be very surprised with your answers and yourself. Hey, Roseflower. We were just doing our first remote viewing exercise. I'm getting ready to reveal the location that I had intended for people to visit.
And if you're coming in and you miss this one, we are getting ready to do we're going to do another remote viewing exercise, but we're also going to do...
After the trance demonstration.
The trance demonstration. Yeah. So it's fun time.
Okay. Are we ready to hear the location?
Yes. Heroes Flower.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Most of you probably don't know this place, and some of you will. The place that I am, oh, Salty said I missed the first one because of a phone call. Oh, well, you get to do the second one, Salty. The place that I intended is a very large park called Maymont that's in Richmond, Virginia, and you're more than welcome to look it up. It's Maymont, Maymont. So it was a private house with private grounds, and then it was donated to the city after the people who owned it passed away. So ever since then, it's been a park, and it has cows and other animals, goats, bears, pigs, donkeys, chickens, lot of different farm animals. They also have a fox. They have birds of prey. They have a lynx. They have a koi fish pond. So if you saw any of those things, any of those critters, and maybe you didn't say it out loud or you weren't able to type it in, that's confirmation. Overgrown grass, I think, is also a good indicator of the location. Not because they have overgrown grass there, but because there is a lot of land, and one of the places in the acreage is a bamboo forest, which is kind of like walking through some overgrown grass. They also
have like some grassy fields there where the
they
bison
do.
are.
Yes, there is grassy fields because they also have deer and they have bison, they have elk, and all of those things are places that the grass would grow so the animals can eat it. Now, the biggest thing that I think most of you hit on is the water. So this particular place is right next to the James River. So there's a river that runs beside it. There is a huge house up on top of a hill. It's not a Spanish style. It's not yellow that I know of. And it's not necessarily on a cliff, but it's a really big house and it's on a hill. It's by the river. And there is a waterfall.
A huge waterfall. Yeah.
That goes over rocks. And they have a huge fountain up at the top that has like a lion head on it. And the water will flow through there. A lot of times I have it turned off. But beside that, there is a huge waterfall, rocky waterfall. Hi, Miracor. And that goes down into the Japanese garden, where the koi fish is. Oh, Fimby said bamboo is grass. Thank you so much. And then so that's down toward like at the bottom of the waterfall, but then on the top of the waterfall there's an Italian garden that has what would you call that?
I just put a link that should show you a picture of the
Japanese garden,
the waterfall in the Japanese garden. Yes.
So the majority of you hit on something that is definitely at Maymont. Bree said it's gorgeous. I Googled it. It is. It's a very beautiful place. It's one of my favorite places. And also, I thought Sue Willits brought up something interesting because she said that there's a lot of movement there. And you are absolutely right, because it is a very popular place where a lot of people go and they walk the grounds. And it also has the animals that are constantly moving around and the water flows. So there is absolutely a lot of movement there. And I'm really having deja vu right now, which is kind of freaking me out.
Because you said you don't get deja vu.
No, I don't get deja vu very often. Okay, so then the underscore said the stonework matches what I saw. Excellent. Flowing water would be like the ocean hitting the shore. Correct. And there's a lot of vegetation. There is absolutely a lot of vegetation. So good job. Yes, you got the stone, the water, and the vegetation. And a house, not necessarily on a cliff, but on a hill that overlooks the water. So I think you're right on there. And then Sue Willett said, just looked it up on Google Images, waterfall over the rocks with trees at the side. Correct.
And Norsk said apples, barns, and cows.
Yes, there are barns, multiple barns. There's a barn that has animals in it. Yeah. And then there's another barn over on the other side of the park that houses like some old cars and stuff. So everybody did a wonderful job. I think you should all be very proud of yourself. And Norsk said, and we always go through the barn first to see the animals. Correct. Yes, we always go to the animals first. Another thing that they have there now, which is something newer, is they have a nature center that has reptiles and fish and amphibians and stuff that's native to Virginia. If anybody saw something similar to that with other kinds of critters or some center, nature center kind of thing. I think, don't they also have otters in there?
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, they have otters. And I think the only person who said something completely weird was Little Wing. But I think Little Wing definitely saw a specific place because Little Wing saw very specific things. So Little Wing, I think you just went off on your own, which sounds like something you would totally do. So good job, everybody. Yay.
That was interesting.
Round of applause. Yeah. See? Yeah. See?
Very interesting.
You guys can do this. Give yourself a pat on the back. Yes. Okay. So we're going to be doing another one of those shortly. Yeah. Yes. Sue Willett said, I'm shocked I got it. I've never done this before, but I do meditate. Good job, Sue. See, you should be very proud of yourself. Little Wing thinks that she doesn't have any clair abilities. That is false. You just pictured a house. I think that you definitely went to some house, Spanish house with a lady sweeping. I can actually see it in my mind too. Now, where you went, Little Wing, I don't know. But you definitely went there.
When we do the target I picked out, I'll make sure you do this again, Little Wing. Just hold on to it.
Yes.
All right.
Sylvie said I haven't meditated in a long time. I'll try to go back and do it. Yes. I mean, meditating is the key to all of this stuff because you have to be able to clear your mind and you have to know your own self compared to other things. It's like you have to know when there's other energies coming at you that aren't your own. But if you're not even comfortable or know your own energy, then you're not going to know other energies. So meditating is definitely key. There's nothing wrong with that, Sylvie. It just takes practice. Practice. Okay, so trance demonstration. Are we ready to switch gears? I'm not making any of you do any trance, just so you know. If you've been
just gonna stare at you.
Yeah, you're just gonna stare at me. If you've been keeping up with me over the last few months at all on my Twitch streams, I've talked a lot about trance mediumship and the fact that I felt like I was already starting to develop that skill. And then I did a workshop with a fellow class member of mine, and she taught us how to do trance mediumship from a very famous, well-known medium that she had taken like a really long mentorship with. So she was very well versed in how to do it and what it was, and she led us through it. And then a bunch of us really liked it, so we all started practicing together. And then you've seen me kind of do it a little bit on here. So let me explain what it is a little bit before we go into it. Trance mediumship is allowing spirit, if you can get it to work correctly, allowing spirit to actually physically enter your body. The spirit enters the medium's body, and they can move the person's body. They can speak through the person. If it's done properly and then the medium knows what they're doing. When people that are practicing trance start out, not all of that happens. So keep that in mind, because I am not well versed in this at all yet. I've only done it maybe less than a dozen times at this point. So things that can happen when a person is going in through trance is the medium, which would be me, can start to physically look different. My face might start to look like somebody else's. If it's a male spirit, my face might start looking more masculine. Things can happen with the technical part of the video. There could be light flashes, there could be color changes, there could be anomalies that happen in the video itself, because it's just energy affecting the space and affecting the camera and affecting me. A lot of times trance mediums will have things happen to their physical face, not just making them look different, but also muscle twitches, things moving on their own. And then what else? I have not completely been able to have another spirit speak through me to the point where it was like they're talking. One time it got really, really close. I knew what was happening and I knew what the person was saying, and it was flowing really well. I believe that was a reading for Keisha, and it was her mom that had come through. So I haven't gotten to the point where I completely disconnect myself from myself and have somebody completely take me over. So it's going to be kind of interesting. What might happen here? Bree asked, did your left arm hurt when I was doing trance mediumship? I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not sure. So your job as the viewer is to watch me and see what happens. You're going to see if I have facial changes, muscle tics, if my hands move on their own, if something happens with the screen, if the lights change, if there's some weird stuff. So you guys keep your eyes peeled and watch me while I'm doing it. We're going to do about 8 minutes quiet, You guys are welcome to chat with each other, especially if you start seeing something. As soon as you see it, just type it. Type it in. I will have my eyes closed, and I will be trying to connect with the spirit and letting them enter through me. At about the 8-minute mark, Frost Giant is going to attempt to communicate with the spirit, and we'll see if they talk back. I shall make no guarantees. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I don't know. This is just, you guys are watching live experiment.
Yeah. We were actually going to practice this earlier in the week, but
it didn't happen.
It's free time. You know how that goes. You know how that is. So we're going to do it the first time right here.
Yep, right here. Right here, right now. Okay. So, I'm going to start going into my meditative state. And what I do is I have a specific spirit guide that is like my gatekeeper, and I'm going to ask him to let somebody through. I've already set the intention that I want it to be somebody that would like to speak with us this evening. And then remember, I'm going to be quiet for a long time. So just watch and see what happens. Type if you see something, and around 8 minutes, so Frost Giant, watch the time, he'll ask a question. And if it starts to connect and the spirit starts communicating, you guys can also put in questions. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll read them.
Yeah.
If we get moving in that direction.
If we get it working.
If something doesn't happen, then we'll just move out. And
then Frost Giant will tell me to come back, and we'll do the other remote viewing exercise. Not a big deal.
All right. Do the last throat clear there.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Is there anyone who would like to speak to us? Would anyone like to talk to us? What is your name? Where are you from?
England.
What is your name? What would you like to say? Who are you? Are you here to speak to somebody tonight? Who do you identify as? Where in England are you from?
Lincolnshire.
What do you do in Lincolnshire?
Physician.
Do you know anyone here?
No.
What year are you from? What year are you from? What year did you live?
18. 1870.
1870. Do you have a job? Did you have a job?
Physician.
Would you like to say something to any of us?
Hello?
How old are you?
80. 82.
82. Do you have any messages for us? Are you a man or are you a woman?
Man.
Man. Do you smoke?
Never.
How is your health?
I'm old.
Do you know a Carla?
Do not believe so. Babies.
You help deliver babies?
Correct. Death.
Where is your practice?
Village.
Is there somebody you would like to help now with what you know about medicine? Is there somebody you can help?
Be careful. Eat. Eat right. Exercise.
Well, thank you for speaking with us. Thank you for talking to us. We would like to speak to Medium Jenny Lea now.
Thank you. Okay. Well, oh, somebody got banned. Okay, so what did you guys see?
Welcome back.
Thanks. It worked. It works. You guys tell me what you experienced first, and then I'll tell you what I experienced. Okay, so I'm looking back through the chat.
For me, because it was hard to hold off 8 minutes to ask you something.
Yeah,
because that was a lot longer in time, but I waited as long as I could.
I think you waited long enough.
Yeah, and then we, I think Little Wing thought it looked like we were playing video games and we were doing a dungeon.
She might fall asleep. Posture check. Fimby, I couldn't do a posture check in the middle of that.
It'll be interesting to go back and look at the video of that.
Sue Willett said it looks either uncomfortable with the spirit that's coming or finding it hard to connect. So I get really jumpy for some reason, like my whole body just kind of, and my head either falls back first or it falls forward first. And this time I felt it do both of those. Oh, goodness.
Did anybody see any changes in physical appearance?
Ooh, a doctor on a boat. It's interesting. Yeah, because it said fisherman, doctor on a boat. Or like a ship.
The benefit to having a lot of background here for that specific period of history is, so talking about babies and being a physician, that could have been a physician that, was like that just went to families, but men did deliver babies in the 1800s and 16 and 1700s would have been strictly midwives. Especially, I think the year was 1870. We would have seen more male physicians.
I think he actually was trying to say 1872.
Yeah, I think that actually came across at one point.
Yeah. At one point, I also heard 1876. So it was around that time. I don't know if he was delivering babies. I definitely saw him delivering some babies, but I don't think that that's all that he did.
Yeah.
And then when he was talking about death, I think he was talking about babies dying. So maybe he was like, he was a physician who helped look after babies and children. I mean, a physician at that time in a small village would have taken care of everybody, but for some reason he's specifically honing in on babies.
Yeah, so Marie, you were saying, and actually I was thinking about Sue Willett here, was something about Lincoln is coastalish. My grandfather was from Lincoln. Yeah, a lot of British colonists even if they weren't from Lincolnshire, they sailed out of Lincoln. Lincolnshire was a huge exit point.
I think he also was like, I kept hearing Devonshire in my head too.
Oh, Devonshire.
Which I don't know if those two places are close to each other at all. Or if he was saying two different locations. It can be a little bit uncomfortable, Brie, because my body's like jerking around, especially when my head goes back all the way. Like, I'm like, come on, guys. Like, you gotta help me out here. Like, bring my head forward because my neck hurts.
Yeah, Devonshire is a county in southwest England.
Okay, where's Lincolnshire at? That's close, similar?
Lincolnshire is in West England also. But I don't know. You can use Google Maps to find out, though.
So Sylvie said, I had a feeling it would be an old man as soon as you closed your eyes. I think maybe it's because of how your posture changed and you started slanting. Norsk said it worked your face, little old man. My body and face changed. I was gumming? Oh, wow, that's crazy.
I'm incorrect because Lincolnshire is actually on the east coast of the island. And Devonshire is down near Plymouth, kind of on the southwestern part.
Maybe it was just two different places that he lived or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he did abortions. I think that he just saw a lot of death, particularly with babies, which is common of any time before shit like the 19 something or another.
Sue Willett had it. Lincoln is coachless. My grandfather was from Lincoln. Opposite ends of the country. Devon is on the sole of the boot. The England is shaped like Lincoln is northeast. Yeah, see, I know like Lincoln.
Both fishing places.
I know a lot of people came from Lincoln, but I don't know where all the
I
don't know where all the towns are in England because I'm American.
Yeah.
So I'm actually pretty good at geography, but I've never been to Great Britain or England. So.
And Bree said, you have so much energy. I love it. I thought it would drain you and make you feel groggy. No, I just feel weird coming back for a little while and then I feel okay. It's really exhilarating, actually, because it's just exciting. Like, I like doing it so much that I want to do it all the time. Which is probably a bad thing.
I was really nervous.
I was nervous at first because, I haven't really done it on Twitch yet. And to be honest, I haven't really done it other than with my medium class friends. And we're really comfortable with each other. So I feel like I was nervous. But then I felt, I could feel it. I could feel it coming in. And then right before you started asking questions, I felt it really connect. And I knew I was ready for you to ask questions. And then you scared the shit out of me when you actually did ask the question because you had been quiet for so long and I was
Yeah. I didn't even wait as long as you told me to, so we need to knock those minutes down to like 5.
I think you scared him too.
Yeah.
Oh, Sue, you're from England. Well, maybe he was here because of you.
So now we have a friend from across
the pond. Yes.
Yeah, so we can have any info we need about.
Yes, see, you were here for a reason.
Yeah.
You were here to help us out with the English stuff and geography. And then Salty said, I get random names sometimes, and the name Clara came to me while he was talking. I mean, if he was a physician, he probably saw a lot of different people, and there could have been a Clara in there. I don't really know. I guess he said that he didn't know one. That doesn't mean that he didn't know one. Yeah. Or maybe Clara was somebody that you were picking up on that's like hanging around, Mm-hmm. So what I was experiencing was I could see him in my mind. And he had a cane. I was holding a cane with my right hand under the desk. And he was really hunched over, which I think my body was doing that, right? Wasn't I like kind of like slouched?
Yeah. You were leaned forward.
I thought
I was like afraid you were gonna fall out of your chair. So.
I thought it was interesting that Salty said that I was gumming like I didn't have teeth, because I felt like my whole face was like really wrinkly and like saggy skin and yeah. And then I think he was really kind of mesmerized by breathing again. Like, I just felt like he got really stuck on the breathing. Like he forgot what it was like or something, you know? And he had glasses and a mustache. I don't know if anybody else was picking up on any of that. If you were picking up on things. And what else? I feel like there was something else. I can't think of what it was now. Did anybody see any weird things with the video? Was there any light things or like glitches or anything weird, color changes or anything?
I didn't notice anything.
Okay. Oh, you picked up on the glasses, Sylvie. See? You might have got nothing on the remote viewing, but you got stuff on the trance medium. You picked up on stuff.
You definitely came across as an old man. I knew as an old man just by the... Wasn't Winston Churchill, though.
No Winston Churchill.
No. Showing strength and confidence in the air.
Yeah, no on him.
We will defend our island.
Oh, okay. So that was really interesting. I feel like I need to write some of this stuff down. I think he was also trying to say he was 82 years old. I don't know if I saw that already. So basically 1870s. Position. I thought it was interesting that he wouldn't say what his name was.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to answer anything, and then and then England and Lincolnshire, and I almost felt like he didn't want to talk to me, so then I didn't want to ask questions, and I was kind of getting nervous about what questions to ask because he didn't seem overly receptive.
I don't think it was that. I think it was he was just trying to get used to physical body again. Because he really, like, he knew what to do. Like, he was leaning into the microphone. Like, he knew that he needed to get close to it so that you could hear us. But then he just really got caught up on the breathing. Like, he just wanted to keep breathing. And so it was, like, distracting to try to talk at the same time. Sue Willett said, thankfully not Crowley. Oh, you mean Aleister Crowley? Yeah. I don't think I'd let him come through.
I don't know if that's for someone who, I don't know if I'd be totally against talking to him.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. I'll take the old man doctor, though. That was fun. Yeah, Sylvie, don't second guess yourself. You were right. Glasses, mustache. Cane. Pretty old. Real old. 80 years old in the 1870s. That would have been like ancient.
Not necessarily.
No?
People live just as long.
I guess.
Back then. The life ranges were shorter because more people died when they were younger. But once people got through childhood, they lived pretty long lives. It was just getting out of the 0 to 10 range.
Yeah.
That was difficult.
Which he brought up. He brought that up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was really interesting. And it worked.
Eat right, and exercise.
Oh yeah, his messages. I almost forgot about them. Eat right. Be careful, he said. And exercise. Trying to write down all the little nibbles of things we got here.
While we have some time, I want to thank, if anybody, I know it was a while ago, but I just want to thank the Noah Prophecy again for the raid. If you get a chance, go follow their channel.
What was it again?
The Noah Prophecy.
The Noah Prophecy. Oh, yeah. The
Noah Prophecy. We appreciate the stream from earlier, the raid from earlier. Go follow the stream, and we will definitely try to repay the favor sometime.
Norsk said his message was eat right and exercise, and you were breathing hard at first. Yeah, he was like really stuck on the breathing. It was it was interesting. I liked all the weird little noises he made too. He's like,
like lots of like little throat clearing.
Yeah. It was weird. All right, I love it. Let's do it again. All right, we're going to be going into the remote viewing exercise number 2.
Maybe you can try one tomorrow night if you're up to it. Like on stream or something.
I think we'd have to.
It always goes so long.
Yeah, and I'd have to do it on something like this because first of all I need an assistant to help me.
Yeah. That's true.
Ask questions and bring me out of it. I don't know if I could necessarily get myself out of it without somebody else. And then and when I do my reading nights, it's like that's what people are expecting is their specific personal reading. So I think
do you think that you could do a trance for a personal reading, or do you think that's just like rando?
I mean, I kind of did. It's almost happened a few times. It almost happened with Rose recently, and then with Keisha I really did go into trance with her mom. And the message for her like flowed out. Like, it wasn't me hearing it and then saying it. It was like all one thing, which is supposed to happen when you're really doing mediumship really well anyway. Like it's just supposed to flow through you without you having to really stop and think about it. So yeah, it's happened. Usually now when I start my reading nights, my body automatically wants to go into trance, but it's such a weird process that I'm not comfortable with all the way yet that I kind of shut it down when I'm doing my reading nights. I'd rather just do my normal thing. But
yeah, that's understandable for sure.
It's definitely something.
And it's so busy.
Yeah.
Usually on a Friday, it's like it's no holds barred from beginning to end. So.
And
hijacks and
yeah, exactly. But I do think clearly it's something I'm capable of doing. I really like doing it, and I think I could do it more often.
Well, we'll do another witching hours with it sometime.
Yeah, maybe we could do like the whole thing would just be trance stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So Bree said maybe one of us can help you through Discord. Oh yeah, we could do practice things in Discord. Thank you, Bree. Frost Giant, are you able to throw up the Discord link easily?
Yeah, I can get it up there. Just give me a second.
Okay. Frosty will put up the Discord link for anybody who isn't in our Discord server. Go join it. Before we get started on the next remote viewing exercise, a couple weeks ago we did a really good chakra cleansing meditation, and I just got to make the highlight for that, and I posted it on YouTube and Instagram if you were interested, and I shared it in the Discord server. So if you were interested in doing that meditation again, or you didn't get to do it, and you're interested, it'll be in there. Okay, so we're going to start doing our remote viewing exercise number 2. And this place will be a place that Frost Giant has picked. Okay. So, if you were with us earlier, we're going to do the same kind of meditation. I'm going to guide you into it. If you were not with us earlier, we're getting ready to do a remote viewing exercise where you all are going to try to see, sense, feel, hear, smell, taste, whatever you get, information about a location. If you
don't get it right, it doesn't matter.
Yes. So you're using any senses you have in your meditative state to energetically sense the location of which Frost Giant has chosen. Okay. So get yourself comfortable. Remember, your feet should be flat on the floor. Everybody who did it earlier should already be pretty well warmed up and connected through your crown and root chakras. But let's just go ahead and run through it quickly again. So make sure you're comfortable, your feet are flat on the floor, your arms are loose and not constricted in any way, and you're going to close your eyes. We're going to start our deep breathing. So in through your nose. Exhale. Again, in through your nose. Exhale. As you're breathing, remember, you want to feel your body relax. You also want to try to clear your mind. Let's do another breath together, in through your nose. And exhale. Once again, envision your roots from your root chakra, which is at the bottom of your feet, reaching down into the ground and grounding you to the earth. Then imagine that there's a light flowing up through your root chakra, through your sacral chakra, through your solar plexus chakra, your heart chakra, throat chakra, up into your head through your third eye chakra, and going out your crown chakra into the sky. Then imagine the light coming back down through your crown chakra, all the way back through your body, down to your root chakra, into the ground. Now I want you to imagine that you're traveling to a location. Remember not to second guess what you see or sense. Don't worry about whether you think your mind's making it up. Just keep track of all the things that you pick up on. When you're ready, bring yourself back to yourself. Focus on your physical body. Move your hands and fingers and toes. When you're ready, tell us what you got this time. My head is still buzzing from the Trance Mediumship. Hey, Bubba Beats! I'm not doing readings tonight, my dear. I'll be on tomorrow night to do readings, though. We're doing a like a podcast kind of thing right now, where we just did a remote viewing exercise where everybody else was seeing what they could get. So Salty said, floating space astronaut moon. Norsk said, a train. Sue said, a man-made structure with angles. Maybe a road or path leading to it. How have you been, Bubba Beats? Doing all right? Wasn't clear like last time. Good. I'm glad you're doing well.
Good. We'll give a few minutes for other ones to come in here before we discuss.
Yeah. Oh, you're dealing with back pain. I know, backs are the worst. It's like spines are not engineered very well. They're not a good design. Triangles. Oh, interesting. Oh, poor Sylvie.
Sylvie got nothing.
Like Charlie Brown. I got a rock.
Yeah. That's okay. You tried.
Sylvie, you did good during when the trance medium stuff, though. You picked up on a lot of information. Or pyramids. Ooh, yeah, we were talking about Egyptian stuff a lot earlier. Mm-hmm. Oh, poor Breeze. Kids keep getting interrupting.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
Daggone kids.
Yeah.
Little Wing, did you do it this time? Oh, it was your mom this time. Hey, Dragon. How do you know you're not channeling what is that word?
Egregoras?
I don't know what that is.
Or imposter
spirits. I don't know. I don't. I guess I don't. Oh, hello, Miss Cutie Rose. Thank you for the tarot, contributing to the tarot video giveaway. Quiet stillness. I don't know, Dragon, I'm thinking about your question. Like a spirit pretending there's somebody else? I think if I was connected to the spirit long enough, I would be able to figure that out. I think I would sense that something was off. So I've definitely picked up on like, personality traits of people, and if somebody was being insincere, I think I might be able to pick it up.
Yeah. Bree said he wasn't related to anyone, which I thought is interesting to have, because we don't know for sure that we don't know for sure. But if he wasn't, it's odd, like who decides to come through,
Mm-hmm. Because all I asked for was somebody that wanted to talk to us. But I do think it's interesting that Sue is from England, and he also was from England. Oh, Little Wing didn't do this one.
And we didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Little Wing didn't do this one.
Well, Little Wing. Did anybody else do this one that would like to chime in on what they experienced before Frost Giant explains his location? Geometric structure of some sort.
All right, I'm gonna put picture in that I just happened to pull up on Google of. I had some pictures open of the place that I was thinking of, and this is one of the pictures. So I'll give you like 10 more seconds if you wanted to put something in.
Oh, sales.
Sales too.
Sales.
And geometric structure of some sort, which also can kind of bring like that triangle thing that people were talking about earlier. So this is a picture of one of the images of the place that I picked. It's just a Google image, so hopefully it doesn't take you anywhere weird. But
no, it worked.
The place that I chose was Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And I know some people are thinking, why would this guy pick Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, like this prison place? But I lived there for a while when I was a young person. It's a beautiful place, actually. We hear about this like prison, and it is what it is now, but this is before that for me. So I have a unique experience having lived there, so I thought that'd be a cool place to see if people could identify certain things from there.
Sales. I think some people were picking up on this in the last experiment.
They fit a lot of the ones from the last one worked for both.
The ocean crashing on the cliff.
The cliff, the ocean.
The Spanish style house.
Spanish style houses, flat roof houses for protection from hurricanes. Yeah, but the prison, the one thing that people don't realize is that the prison there is like geographically kind of insignificant. Like it's this little tiny, it's a small prison that's like out behind the mountains. If you visit Guantanamo Bay, you would never even know it was there. So that's what it's famous for, but it's like, I'm not saying it's not significant politically or whatever, but if you go there, geographically, what you see, what the feel of the place is, the prison is insignificant. The people who are living there, they don't think of it as being that. But there is interesting geography there. So as you can see from that one picture, there's cliffs and a huge, bay in the Caribbean. Lots of sea life. You can see the banyan trees on the cliffs there. So like banyan trees. And then on the other side of the base, it's very deserty. So you have like tall cactuses and So it's a very interesting geography, mountainous. So what do we get? Let's see. No trains, but
No
lots of
trains, yeah.
boats, lots of military boats, a lot of military stuff vehicles.
Oh yeah, floaty. Salty was floating out in space.
Uh-huh.
The astronauts on the moon. And then Sue said quiet stillness.
Quiet stillness, yeah. The people who are stationed there, it's usually kind of like a people who live there really enjoy living there, typically.
I feel like the people who live there is think it's a peaceful place to live. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Is there any kind of solar turbine windmill stuff there? Do you know of?
There could be now. Probably not. Most of the electricity they get there is from seawater. They have like electrical plants from.
Little Wing said, "Mine could have worked. I was in the future like every other anxious person."
And so Little Wing, I thought it was interesting because it was like it was definitely a different kind of housing, and there are still lots of Cuban nationals whose families have stayed on the base since it became American territory.
Is there a picture that has a turbine thing in it?
Let me see if I can find one. There wasn't one when I was there, but that definitely doesn't.
Yeah, I mean it was quite a while ago.
It's not there now. That's a long time ago. Yeah, definitely.
There is.
Yep.
Oh, cool! Look at you, Sue. You're on a roll. You're on a roll, lady.
Yeah. Yeah, tons of them.
Oh wow.
Maybe they were there when I was there. I just didn't realize it.
Yeah, I might not have been on your radar.
Yeah, I'll post a picture here. You guys can.
So, are the mountains there kind of triangular shaped? Are they like pointy?
Yeah, some of them are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, actually, there are. The mountains are very pointy. They're not very tall.
Yeah, I can see in that picture, pointy. The windmill picture you just put up, that the hills are kind of pointy like a pyramid. Yeah, there definitely are turbines there. Yep. Sue got that on the money.
And see, that's an interesting thing too, because we're not doing mind reading, right? Like that's the difference between.
Yes, exactly.
We're not mind. So what I'm thinking of when I think of that location isn't necessarily what you guys saw. You guys were looking at other parts of it.
So that just proves that it's remote viewing and not picking up on it psychically.
Because I was focusing kind of, in my mind, I was focusing on the cliff and the bay. So just because you guys didn't pick up on that doesn't mean that you weren't looking at that location. So we have wind turbines. I'm looking at this one mountain, this picture that I posted. If you guys, if anyone has that picture open, if you look at the right windmill, sorry, my southern comes out every once in a while.
Look at the mail. Let's get out windmill.
If you look at the right windmill, that mountain that is
very pyramid-like. Yes, that's the one I was looking at. Yeah. That's the one I was looking at too.
Yeah.
Wow, good job, Sue.
Excellent.
Yeah. And the building roofs did look like they have four-sided pyramid roof type of things going on in that first picture. All those little cabana things.
Oh yeah, it looks like little cabanas. And see, I picked that picture because I used to live on that cliff. But the houses that were there aren't there anymore. And I guess they've replaced them with like little cabanas. So yeah, that's true. Pyramid structures. Very, very good.
Yeah.
And one other thing, who was it who said that they saw a structure with like a pathway or a road going to it?
I think that was Sue also at the very beginning.
Sue nailed that too.
Man-made structure with angles that have maybe a road or path.
The area behind the cabanas, and you see that building back there, that is an old airport terminal. And behind those cabanas, it's a good ways back. It looks like it's close, but it's a good ways back. That whole area behind there was an old airfield. So that could be like the path of the road, because it's kind of used as a road now, but it's actually an old abandoned airfield that people drive down. So a path going to a building, that's also a good hit there.
Very good. Good job.
Yeah. So
amazing.
Yeah, even at first I was like, man, I don't know if we got many hits, but I think actually everyone did a really good job.
Yeah. And Little Wing got stuff before, and I think that what was the
I had my
name?
pictures up before too. So.
The underscore. I really feel like what he said or she said at the very beginning of theirs last time was more for this one. The
cliffs and the ocean.
The cliff with the ocean. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty successful for our first
so fun.
First trip there.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So much fun. All right. Well, thank you all very much for participating in our experiments this evening and watching and hanging out with us. Hopefully I'll see most of you back tomorrow night at the same time for reading night, tarot and medium readings. See what kind of crazy stuff we get into tomorrow.
I threw the Discord up a little bit earlier, so if you want to join the Discord, click on that, and right below that Discord link is a YouTube link. So if you missed some of tonight's episode, you want to go back and watch it again, it will be up on YouTube by the end of the weekend. So you can always go back and check that out on YouTube. And any of the past witching hours are posted on Medium Jenny Lea's YouTube as well.
Correct. All 6 other episodes. I'm very proud of us. Keeping it going.
We have one planned for
next month.
May
should be hopefully Vicky, who will be talking about angels and spirit signs. Signs from spirit. And then we're hoping to get Charity from Aquarius Rising Tarot back over the summer. And then I would like to really have Joe back too, to talk about some other things, because he's always really super interesting fella. So we'll get some more planned out, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow night.
Yep.
Oh,
Sounds good. Well, I hope
Thanks,
everyone takes care, and we will talk tomorrow. Thank you for checking out the witching hours.
Yep. I hope everybody has a lovely Friday. See you guys tomorrow night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.